So our today's topic is the technology transfer in pharmaceutical contract manufacturing. So we have already discussed about a lot related to the this technology transfer in our previous videos. So I can say that now you are you understand what is technology transfer. In this technology transfer, we have discussed that any technology is transferred from one, lab scale to manufacturing scale, or manufacturing scale to manufacturing scale. That is, if one company to another company also the technology is transferred, so that is also known as technology transfer. Okay, in pharmaceutical field, we have discussed about contract manufacturing. The contract manufacturing is when there is a one product which is prepared by certain other company and brand name is or marketed by certain other company. So the company basically gives the contract of that product's manufacturing to the another company. So that is known as contract manufacturing, in which two companies are involved. So if you want in detail about the contract manufacturing, so I have already uploaded a video related to contract manufacturing in pilot plant series, so you can check out that video. So first of all, learning objective. So upon completion of this unit, the students will be able to learn about the various considerations related to the technology transfer, that is how the technology is transferred and what is the need of technology transfer, etc. Now next is students will be able to know the various legal issues related to the technology transfer, why technology transfer is needed, what are the legal agencies, what are the authorities which are involved in the technology transfer. All these things are there in the or we can say all these things students will learn after the completion of this unit. Okay, next is stages involved in the technology transfer. So there are multiple stages which are there in the technology transfer. So also students will be able to learn after the completion of this unit. And here I want to state that this is the third video of the technology transfer. So if you want the detailed video related to the introduction, related to the steps, related to the team involved in the technology transfer, so you can visit my previous two videos, because this is the third one, so that you will understand easily and properly about the technology transfer. Now learning outcome. So the learning outcome is basically need of technology transfer. You should know that why we are doing technology transfer. If we not do the technology transfer, so what has happened? So all these things you will came to know in this video. Technology transfer from R&D to productions, how the technology is transferred from the R&D scale to the production scale, as well as production scale to the production scale. This also you will learn after the completion of this unit. Other than that, advantages and disadvantages of technology transfer are also there. There are many advantages, there are many disadvantages. So you will came to know about all the advantages and disadvantages in this unit. Now, overview of these slides are introduction, which we have already discussed also. Other than that, what is the technology transfer? Making sure transfer protocols are developed thoroughly. Key items to be changed to ensure the success. Ins and outs of technology transfer. Ensuring a smooth start. Analytical method transfer for products. The cost of a tech transfer, that is technology transfer, what is the overall cost, successful due diligence or when in licensing product, feasibility study and their use in the industry, how process validation guidance simplifies technology transfer, IQ, OQ, PQ, what are they, and they are why they are required. So all these things will be covered in this in this slide. So first, introduction. In introduction we came to know about what is technology transfer, and previously also we have discussed about technology transfer, and some related things also we'll discuss here. Other than that, what is technology transfer? That is either the transfer of technology and the scale up and the pilot run all are same, or what is the difference between these three? We have we will discuss it into the second topic. Then making sure transfer protocols are developed thoroughly. So how we can make sure, how we can know that our technology transfer protocols are developed properly. This will came to know. Also we'll came to know about the challenges which are there for the success of the technology transfer. Other than that, ins and outs of technology transfer will also discuss, and many things like cost, the validation, about the validation of technology transfer, and specifically IQ, OQ, PQ. If you know the validation, what is validation, then you will obviously know that what is IQ, what is OQ, what is PQ. Okay, because these are very simple simple words which are very much used in case of validation. Okay, now the technology transfer introduction. So technology transfer is the most important link in the supply chain. So if you are supplying, or if you are transferring something from one place to another place, that will come under the technology transfer. This is a very important process. Why? Because the technology is if we are not transferring the technology, then we cannot make good profit from our technology. We cannot make the alliance with the other companies. We cannot be able to produce the more product, we can say, with that technology. So these are some important things why the importance of this process is there. Other than that, also the objectives of this technology transfer is to develop a qualitative product by using that technology. If we'll not transfer the technology properly, or if we'll not transfer the technology, we'll just, for example, just say, yes, do this type of process and make a formulation. So if we'll do this, then what will happen that the our product will not transfer properly, and it will not get the qualitative product, we can say. Okay, so this thing is there. Other than that, it requires a good relationship. That is obviously, if we are transferring the technology, so good relationship should be there. If we we don't have the good relationship, so what will happen? We cannot transfer the technology properly. हमें अगर अच्छा relation नहीं है सामने वाली company के साथ, for example, so what we used to do, we will not give the technology to that company, or if we'll give, then also we'll give the we can say the half information maybe we give. Okay, so that is it requires a good relationship. Okay, so technology transfer is a most important link in the supply chain. It is a very important process. It has many objectives. Technology transfer process is a very simple process, and it is a step-by-step process which is essential for any product which is prepared in the R&D, which is developed in the R&D, and in pharmaceutical field, so it is very, very essential now, and it requires good relationship for the for transfer the technology in a proper manner. Now, technology transfer is what happens when a pharmaceutical company wants to change from an existing manufacturing site to a new manufacturing site. Okay, we have discussed about the technology transfer from laboratory to the large scale, but one another important thing related to the technology transfer is what, that the technology is also transferred from one manufacturing site to the another manufacturing site. That is one manufacturing site to the another manufacturing site. That is, for example, our company is there in, for example, Delhi, and we want to transfer our whole company to the Jaipur city. So then also we need to transfer the technology properly. So if the existing company wants to change their manufacturing site, and also we can say wants to add on the manufacturing site, for example, we have company in Jaipur and we want to open a new company in Delhi, Gurgaon, and in any area in Gujarat. So we need to transfer that technology so that we'll get that product, that the same product which we are preparing in the parent company, that is company in Jaipur. Okay, so we can say a technology transfer is what happens when a pharmaceutical company wants to change from an existing manufacturing site to a new manufacturing site. Now, the materials and active pharmaceutical ingredients remains the same and it produced from the same supplier. So, if we are talking about the materials and APIs, so it is remains same and the procedure from the same supplier. So that means we can say that procured from the same supplier. So that means we can say that when we are transferring the technology, so we should keep this in mind, that we should take all the, for example, we are making any formulation and we are transferring its technology to the other side. So we should transfer its technology also by we can say by using the same supplier and same ingredients. So that means same ingredients, same API should be there, and same procured supplier, that is same supplier is there who is procuring the material API. Then only we can say that yeah, our product is then only we can use the specific technology. Then only by using that specific technology we'll get the same product if we are using the same active ingredient, same API from the same supplier. Because if we'll change the supplier, then maybe there is the variation in the quality of the product. Now, access original manufacturer's information, the raw material, critical process parameters, equipment, and batch size. So, this is basically if we are, developing a product from the technology transfer. So, what we need to understand? We need to understand that we have to use all the information related to that technology which is given by the manufacturer. That is, if manufacturer will give us a different information and we are using different information, so obviously our technology is not properly transferred, or we can say our product is not qualitative product, will not get the qualitative product. Okay, so yeah, so this thing is there. Other than that, so what are the things which are there in the original manufacturer's information? First one is raw materials. So what are the raw materials? What raw materials you have to use, and what is the supplier? Okay, and what type of raw material? Okay, what stage? For example, we are using paracetamol. So what state? Either it is in solid, it is in crystalline solid, it is in powder. So all things should be explained, and which supplier is there. Okay, so all the supplier information, all the information related to the raw material should be there. Then critical process parameters. What are the parameters which, if will influence, then which may affect the quality of the product? Okay, so critical process parameters ke bare mein we have already discussed a lot in pilot plant scale up also. You need to you need to identify the critical process parameters. So in technology transfer also you need to transfer the critical process parameter list to the manufacturer, that is to the receiver, okay, receiving company, so that they can make good quality product, because they can critically measure and they can properly see that process parameter. Now, equipment information related to equipment also should transfer with the with this. Why? Because why it is important? Because if the equipment information we want transfer, what has happened? Then the if we change the equipment, so equipment change also may change the property of the formulation. So maybe if we are using the fluidized bed dryer and if we are using tray dryer, maybe there is a difference. So you need to give the detailed information related to equipment also. Equipment make may differ, so you have to give the detailed information. कौन सी make है, कौन सा model है, कौन सा type की mechanism है. So you have to give all the information related to the equipment also. Okay. Other than that, batch size. So batch size is also essential, as now if you have seen my previous videos related to the pilot plant scale up, so you should also understand about the importance of the batch size. Okay, because pilot plant scale up is all about the batch size, all about the batch size. That is, if the batch size is low and if the batch size is very large, so there is a difference in the technology and there is a difference in the quality of the product if we use the same method. So batch size is batch size should be mentioned in the technology transfer, or we can say during the technology transfer. Okay. So this is the thing that if if, for example, if the batch size is 5 lakhs during the 5 lakhs is provided by the original manufacturer information, and you want to make the formulation for 10 lakhs, so you should once you should discuss with the with the giving side, that is the जो आपको दे रही है कंपनी, उससे क्लाइंट साइड जो है उससे आप एक बार डिस्कस कर लें, एंड देन you can make the size and you can make a little variation by using this, or you can make 5 lakhs of 2 batches. Okay. So this is the thing related to the information which is supplied from the manufacturer side, from the giver side, and because you are the receiver, so there are two companies, one is the giver, one is the receiver in case of technology transfer. Okay, so material, the main thing which we should focus, that materials and APIs all are same, all we should use same, and even with the same supplier. Okay. Now second is access some original information from the manufacturer, raw material, critical process parameters, equipment, and batch size. Okay. So the next thing is related to the scale up and post approval changes. So SUPAC, we have already discussed about the SUPAC guideline in our pilot plant scale up also. So SUPAC is related to the scale up and post approval changes, guidance and regulatory strategies. So what are the guidelines related to the SUPAC, or what are the guidelines basically related to the technology transfer? So for better technology transfer, you need to understand the FDA guideline. So in FDA guideline, as per the FDA guideline, it is there that you need to transfer the technology from the you can transfer the technology from the one company to the another company easily by formation, by submitting a dossier, as well as you can also transfer the technology from laboratory scale to the manufacturing scale, large scale manufacturing scale. This is also with the dossier and all the things which are there in the dossier you have to submit like master manufacturing record, master formula record, master formula card. We have already discussed about the this thing, dossier in that technology transfer in our last video. So if you don't know what is dossier and what is dossier related to the technology transfer, you can visit that video. Other than that, SUPAC chart is also there, or SUPAC guidelines are also there. SUPAC guidelines are scale up and post approval changes. So if we are talking about the SUPAC guidelines, so that means after the after the approval of the products, after the approval of the product, if during scale up, if you're doing any changes, so you need to submit it. Okay, so if you need to, if you have transferred the technology, so also you have to submit into the SUPAC. Next is the best technical transfer. For the best technical transfer, you need to follow the proper guideline, and the technical transfer should be successful and properly. Different size classes or subclasses you are there in the different guidelines. Now, ins and outs and of technology transfer. Technology transfer, handovers of knowledge between the organizations. Okay, so you know that this is the technology transfer. We are handing over the technology from one company to the another company. Okay, second is internal transfer. So internal transfer may be there, that is you can transfer the technology from one department to another department also. So that is also the technology transfer. Then transfer between two or more corporate identities may also be there. So that is also known as technology transfer. So that is, we can say, if they want a good relationship, if they want to share their knowledge, if they want to make alliance, so two corporate identities may also do the technology transfer. Then lateral transfer is also there, and successive life cycle changes are there in the technology transfer. So the technology transfer is a handover of knowledge between organizations. Internal transfer, transfer between two or more corporate identities. And lateral transfer, successive life cycle changes, stages. Now, technology transfer issues. So, inconsistencies and miscommunication between donor and receiving organizations. So, in this is a very simple thing, that we need to understand what is the technology transfer issues. Means what are the issues may generate during the technology transfer. So this thing is the important thing is the inconsistency and miscommunication between the donor and receiving side. The receiving organization is the major issue which may arise. That is, if you want to, for example, transfer some message from one person to the another person with the help of some person. So what you need to understand, what you need to do, you need to proper communicate it. That is, आप A person को कोई बात बोलनी है आपको C person को, तो A person क्या करेगा, पहले B को बात बताएगा फिर C को. तो अगर वो B को कोई चीज proper नहीं बताएगा, it will not explain the proper sentences and proper thing about that talk to the B, then B will not transfer it properly. So there should be a proper communication. If there is miscommunication, if there is inconsistency, so there is issues related to the technology transfer may occur. So for best technology transfer, the communications should be sharp, and there should not be any inconsistency should be there. So that means consistency should be there between the donor and the receiving organization. We have discussed that one is giver, or that is donor, one is the receiver. So one is giving their technology to the another. So if the one who is giving is not transferring the proper information to the receiving, not doing the proper communication with the receiver, so what will happen? There is no proper technology transfer is there. There's no successful technology transfer may happen. Okay, so that means yeah, this is there. Okay, so there are multiple technology transfer issues, like related to the material, related to the equipment, related to the disciplines, people, culture, physical, biological, interpersonal factors. So we can say that if if we are transferring certain technology, so we should communicate with the related to the with the receiving side, related to the material, which material we are using, from where we are getting the material, which type of material we should not use, etc. Equipment, which type of equipment we are using, what is the capacity of the equipment, all these things. Discipline, so what type of what are the responsibilities we are giving to the people, and what are the disciplinary actions we are taking. People's, how many peoples or how many manpowers are required during the process, and how to manage them. Okay, culture, what type of culture we are using, physical, biological factors, and interpersonal factors, if there is any in their technology, so they should transfer, they should communicate with the receiving side. Now the next is the external transfer. So if external transfer is there, so two prog approach is there. CMOs work with many products and technologies, request for proposal, RFP, and demo and engineering batches. So that is, if we are doing the external transfer, so two prog approach you should use, and you should go for the request for the proposal first. That is, you need to first send the request for the proposal, that is RFP. So so that if the company, if the receiving company is accepting that RFP, then only you can transfer the transfer the technology. And there should be before the technology transfer, there should be demo and engineering batches should be done by the receiving side, sorry, giving side. Ready for kickoff, so structured and documented meeting. So when you are going to transfer any technology, so first of all, you should explain them in a structured manner, that yeah, this is the technology and we are transferring it. And you should also do a meeting with the with proper documentation. So the technology transfer is a step-by-step process, and all the steps should be followed. ऐसा नहीं कि आप एक बार गए और सारे document dossier लेके गए and you have submitted all the dossier and you say that yeah, I'm there. No, ऐसे transfer नहीं होता है technology transfer. So it should be structured and documented. Meeting should be there. Assembles detailed technology transfer list. You need to make a list and you need to assemble it. And specific anticipated issues, issue gap analysis, and transfer between CMOs to sponsors. So all these are kickoff points. Now internal transfer. We have discussed about the external transfer. Now come to the internal transfer. So internal transfer, organizations treat collaborations differently. More organizations treat collaborations differently. So that is basically, if you want to transfer the technology internally, so collaboration. So maybe it may be in between one company, and it may be there is a, if there is a collaboration with an organization, so then also you can transfer the internal, you can do the internal transfer from the from your lab to the another lab, from one lab to the another lab. Now more relaxed. So internal this internal customers have customers not viewed as real. So internal customer, because you know very well about the internal customer, so it is an advantage, add-on advantage for the transferring of technology. So there is a good relationship, good communication with that. Common tasks taken for granted. In this, what happened, the common tasks normally which are there is for granted. Portions might be ignored. Technology is unfamiliar to manufacturing groups. Okay, so these are some issues which are there in the internal transfer. Now failure to scale. So how the failure to scale is, it is development use equipment that do not scale, like larger equipment may be unavailable, mixing or mass transfer problem is there, API is too expensive, needs experienced managers. So failure, there are multiple chances which are there of the failure related to technology transfer. So it's development of use of equipment that do not scale, large equipment may be unavailable, and mixing and mass transfer problem may be there, and if the API is too expensive, so we have used it into the small scale, but in large scale it is very difficult to use and optimize it. Now need experienced manager. If there is experienced manager, then only you can do the successful technology transfer. So it is very essential to have a it is very essential to have an experienced manager, experienced person to transfer the technology, so that we'll get a qualitative product. So basically the basic thing is that we want a qualitative product, right? Now, analytical method. So, in analytical method, if we transfer the analytical method, so we should assure the chemical identity and purity. Second is issues may stall when skills differ. CMOs may outsource to external labs. Conduct parallel tests on same samples. Equipment should be well matched and formal qualification validation protocols. So all these things you should see while you are doing the analytical method transfer. And I have a separate video for this analytical method transfer, so we'll explain all these points there, because it is a very vast topic, and if you go with the introduction part, then only you will understand it. And for now, I can say that we can say that if analytical method is there, so if if you're transferring certain analytical method, so there is a chemical and identity and purity you should check. You should go for the test samples, test for the samples, and validation, etc. Now, ensuring a smooth start. So it is very essential to transfer the technology. That start should be smooth. Now, how can this smooth start is there? That is, first they need to identify the need of technology transfer. That means if you are transferring certain technology, so either that technology is needed with the other company, or then you have to send a request of proposal जो हमने बात की थी वो तो अच्छा होगा technology transfer. Two main items required by the client: clearly defined project scope, requirement, and complete document package. So for the smooth start, the client you have to define the clearly objective of the project. Okay, what are the objective and what are your project goal? Okay, and complete document package also you should give. Now, clearly defined project scope should be there, like eliminates guesswork and can be a comprehensive request for quotations. So if you are, you want to transfer certain technology, so you need to define clearly the project scope. Okay, what are the scopes of our project? What are project? So that there is a no chances of guessing work is there, and as well as they can ask for the quotation also, and you can also send the quotation in the previous stage. Now, complete technology transfer document package. So it defines the project scope upfront. So it will give the complete documentation package to the receiving side previously. So it will give the project scope knowledge related to the project basically, and it identify and require the activities for the quote, Okay. It minimizes inaccuracies in the code. It eliminates the insufficiencies. Expect any changes that may delay timeline. Okay, so all these things are there, which is complete technology transfer packages required. Now once client approves a technology transfer quotation, they submit a purchase order for project deliverables. Project manager will be assigned. Okay, so this is the basic process that for smooth start ke liye you need to understand. With the you need to submit the transfer quotation, then this purchase order they will prepare and they'll send it, and they'll assign a project manager for this. Now what are the roles of project manager? So the project manager schedule the project introductory meeting. ठीक है, there are multiple roles of project manager. कभी भी कोई भी project start होता है तो we'll assign some manager. So manager is the we can say a person which is having the whole responsibility related to that product. Okay. So the schedule the project introductory meeting. It review the code and purpose of the project. Then it brainstorm and identify the task. It identify requirements and action items. It publish the meeting minutes, and it monitor tracking of the project task. So all these things, all these points are, we can say the roles and responsibility of a project manager. That is, it review about the course which you have submitted. It it identify the task. It give the instruction to the team. It publish the meeting minutes. So all these things, there are multiple roles and responsibilities of the project manager. Project manager, we can say the main person with of the project. So these are the references. So you can go for the multiple references which are related to the which are related to the technology transfer. So if you are you want to go in detail related to the introduction, so you may go for the books. And if you read the recent advances, recent things related to the topic, so you can go for the journals. Now the objective questions. So first objective question is categories. Category 2 in common test categories for method validation is, so answer B is correct, that is impurities in bulk substances. There are multiple categories, so category 2 is the main thing. So quantitation of major component, impurities in bulk substances, and identification test. Next is common test categories for method validation not include. Okay, quantitation of major components, yes, it is there. Impurities in bulk substances, it is also there. Performance characteristics, yes, it is also there. Last is the identical method. Identical method is not there in the common test category list. So for the method validation, so answer D is correct. This is the first question. Our second question. So you can now note down also. That's why I'm giving you some time, because these are the important questions. Now, project manager role in technology transfer does not include. Okay, अभी हमने पढ़ा है project manager. It schedule the planning of budget. Yes. It requires the code and purpose of project. Yes. It brainstorm and identify tasks. Yes. It identify requirements and action plan. Yes. So that is the answer is A, that is scheduled planning for budget. Budgeting is not there in the list of the rule for the project manager in technology transfer. Next is which is not important to ensure a successful technology transfer. First one is parking facility trials. Second is the stability indicating method in place. Third is cleaning validation. Fourth one is health and safety review. So the important, which is not important to ensure a successful technology transfer, answer A is correct. That is parking facility trial is not essential. Other than that, stability, cleaning, and health safety issues are important. Next is the technology transfer dossier document, not include master formula card. Yes, it should be there. Master packaging card should be there. Master formula should be there, but master plan is not there. So that means the answer D is correct. That is, in technology transfer dossier document, master plan should not be there. The team of technology transfer not included. So R&D process technologist, quality assurance representative, architecture representative, engineering representative. Answer C is correct. That is, architecture representative is not included in the technology transfer. Okay. So yeah. Next is what is the TBSE in terms of technology transfer? TBSE is it Technology Bureau for Small Enterprises? Yes. Next is Technology Bureau for Similar Enterprises. Next is Technical Bureau for Similar Enterprises and Technical Bureau of Small Entities. So the answer A is correct. That is Technology Bureau for the small enterprises is the correct full form of TBSE, which is there in the technology transfer. So A answer is correct. Next is the reason of technology transfer is. First one is due to more manufacturing capacities, we can do the technology transfer. No. Due to large number of resources to launch product commercially. No. Due to the availability of marketing, distribution and distribution capabilities. No. Last is forming alliance with the partners. Yes, answer D is correct. That is, the reason of technology transfer is forming alliance with the partners. Yes, answer D is correct. Next question is, which is not there in technology transfer flow chart? We have discussed in our last lecture actually this related to the technology transfer flow chart. So in this promotion, innovation, F&D and R&D, so answer D is correct. That is, F&D is not there in the flow chart. We have discussed a circular flow chart related to the technology transfer. F&D is not there. Answer C is correct. That is F&D. The transfer of any process together with its documentation is pilot plant, R&D transfer, scale up and technology transfer. So answer D is correct. That is technology transfer. So because we have discussed about the pilot plant in our previous videos. Okay, so we can say that yeah, in pilot plant there's the thing related to the related to the transfer from small scale to large scale, but it is not a transfer of with the documentation it is not there. So documentation is there, but the exact definition of transfer we can say. So with the documentation, the same technology, but in case of coil plant, we need to do the optimization also. But in technology transfer, you need to use the same technology which we are transferring. Okay, so that is the technology transfer is the right answer. The transfer of any process together with its documentation is technology transfer. Okay, so one question is also there. The team of technology transfer not includes one is the R&D process technologist, second one is the QA representative, third one is the architecture representative, fourth is engineering representative. So answer C is correct, that is architecture representative is not there in the technology transfer team. We have discussed about the technology transfer team. There are multiple members, but no architecture representative is required for the technology transfer system. Okay, so yeah, so thank you so much. This is all about the technology transfer and role of technology transfer in contract manufacturing. So in today's video, we have discussed about the technology transfer and role of technology transfer. And in this, we have discussed about a lot about the guidelines, about the key factors, about the technology transfer issues, how to transfer the technology from external, internal, as well as how we can transfer the analytical method. Okay, little bit we have discussed. We will also discuss the same in our next coming videos, because there is a detailed video related to the analytical method transfer is there. Then how we have also discussed about how we can ensure the smooth transfer or smooth start of the transfer. Then two main items we have discussed, to transfer for the client, that clearly defined project scope requirements are there and complete document packages there. Then we have also discussed about the scope and complete technology transfer document package, why it is required. We have discussed about how the complete start is there. There should be at the start there should be a project manager assigned, and there should be some roles and responsibilities should provide to the manager, so that product manager. So we have discussed that multiple responsibilities and roles are there for this project manager, like schedule project introductory meeting, review quotes and purpose of project, brainstorm and identify the task, identify requirement and action plans, also action items, then publish the meeting minutes, then monitor tracking of project tasks, etc. Okay, we have discussed about the references and many this we have discussed.